Many small things have been made large by the right kind of advertising. The political and commercial morals of the United States are not merely food for laughter, they are an entire banquet. Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Familiarity breeds contempt, and children. I have never taken any exercise except sleeping and resting. The reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities, truth isn't. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. The difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. The public is the only critic whose opinion is worth anything at all. When angry, count to 4, when very angry, swear. The wit knows that his place is at the tail of a procession. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and a man. It is better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. I thoroughly disapprove of duels. If a man should challenge me, I would take him kindly and forgivingly by the hand and lead him to a quiet place and kill him. There is always something about to happen, and that affects things. To see smoking is the easiest thing I ever did. I ought to know because I've done it 1,000 times. If you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. Training is everything. The peach was once a bitter almond, cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. Success is most often achieved by those who don't know that failure is inevitable. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. It is noble to teach oneself, but still nobler to teach others and less trouble. The difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. A thing long expected takes the form of the unexpected when at last it comes. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. I have never seen a man who was so brave as to tell his wife he was wrong. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Be good and you will be lonesome. If you don't like the weather in New England, just wait a few minutes. We are all atheists about most of the gods that humanity has ever believed in. Some of us just go one god further. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, this is the ideal life. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter, 'tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. The most interesting information comes from children, for they tell all they know and then stop. I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do the day after tomorrow. When in doubt, tell the truth. It's not the cough that carries you off, it's the coffin they carry you off in. Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Age is an issue of mind, and if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. You're uninformed if you don't read the newspaper. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. The secret source of humor is not joy but sorrow, there is no humor in heaven. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. It's not what we don't know that kills us, it's what we know that ain't so. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. Golf is a good walk spoiled. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. The more you know about a person, the easier it is to forgive them. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. I have a higher and grander standard of principle than George Washington. He could not lie, I can, but I won't. Comparison is the death of joy. The man who sets out to carry a cat by its tail learns something that will always be useful and which never will grow dim or doubtful. The best way to get a bad law repealed is to enforce it strictly. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. Never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Water, taken in moderation, cannot hurt anybody. I have been through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. To succeed in life, you need 2 things, ignorance and confidence. If you want me to give you a 2-hour presentation, I am ready today. If you want only a 5-minute speech, it will take me 2 weeks to prepare. The more we learn about the world, and the deeper our learning, the more conscious, specific, and articulate will be our knowledge of what we do not know, our knowledge of our ignorance.